Full screen, please. And we are live. Yes, you're watching a women's watch along. Another one. We did the World Cup. We're doing the Indian Women's T20 League. And we have a familiar face returning to our screens. And Somesh Agarwal, we've managed to get hold of him finally for a watch along this time for the first time. How are you, my friend?
All well.
Going on? Have you got your energy through your food finally?
Yeah.
And are you looking forward to Bangalore's first win this evening?
Yeah, finally. I mean, till about that cap C over, it seemed like a damn squib. But now finally I'm a little excited to watch this game because I feel it is going to be a very good contest.
I mean, I'll be cock a hoop if Bangalore actually managed to pull something off. 150
And then
psychologically.
I'll be your lucky charm.
Yeah, that'll be good. I mean, and then that'll obviously mean that Somesh will probably do all the other Bangalore watch-alongs, that is. Keep your comments coming through. I think Chachan, Subodh, all you guys have already kind of commented, so we'll take them one by one. And of course, we're going to be getting the fine minds of Crazy Nicks. Oh, what a start! What a start! I haven't had this so far in Bangalore's watchings of the women's T20 league so far. And I was just trying to get my words right before I mess it up. But what a ball, so.
Lovely. I mean, and this is the first time Bangalore are playing at DY Patil.
Yeah.
The ground which has assisted seamers a lot more than Brabant, which is a road, if I may say.
That is true.
And finally, RCB's Bangalore's recruitment is paying dividend.
It is paying dividends. I mean, make no mistake, and that's the happiest thing. I mean, I love Shefali Verma, but to see her return to the heart without troubling the scorers, a first ball duck, and maybe the first ever duck. I mean, it is the first ever duck in her career of the Women's T20 League. Let's get Crazy Nicks right now and ask him what he makes of that. I think Gurkirat will also be joining us. Nick's loving the blue and loving the yellow. You're always a colourful chap, and it's a colourful start for Bangalore because when we talk about swing, so hit it on the head. She's got it straight up, Megan Shook.
Yeah, and these conditions were their best bet. They haven't had the early ball movement in Brabant, and playing at Deva Patil, it was expected that it will do something. And I think it was the finish that Risha gave, and Perry just exploded towards the end to just give them that momentum to take into now. Taking down Shefali very early is very crucial because she's someone who can really just break the back of it in the first 3 overs. And then you're always kind of catching up, bowling a lot of stuff under pressure. So with that, in that sense, though she did get somebody while the keeper standing up. So that's a good new one for me. But yeah, great start for Bangalore.
Shriyanka Patil over there celebrating like Bangalore already won the IPL. But look, it was my first chance to actually say, come on. It's a typical celebration I normally do even for the men's. And I haven't had those moments so far in the women's league. But look, onwards and upwards. And now we can at least think of getting calculators out, let alone dream about 2 points. What's impressed you about this league so far? I know you've not been watching it that much. But from the outside, has it shown you about the power in the women's game today?
I mean, the most impressive part has been like it is always for in the case of the men's T20 league as well that you come across a lot of good domestic talent which you otherwise don't usually see.
Correct.
I mean, Saika Ishaq, I mean, I was even just in the first game I knew that there is substance.
Yeah.
And just proven it over and over again. And I might as well add that I mean, both Rajeshwari and Radha might be thinking, oh my God, now we really will have to fight for our place in the Indian team.
Yeah, I think even Bishan mentioned that in one of the watch-alongs earlier that they should really kind of be careful of who's breathing on their back. And Saika Ishaq's definitely one of them. 12 wickets, and she's definitely in that race.
I mean, I feel she's not just breathing behind the neck now. I mean,
way ahead of the batting order. Keep the comments coming through. It's, of course, Monday. So Monday blues, but not in this case for Delhi, I hope. But what an effort from Perry and Goshu was. I mean, you take a look at even how Bangalore started their innings kind of softly. 11 overs are about 59 for one. I mean, Nicks, it's almost like, this is the analogy I'm using for today, right? It's like one of those grilled chickens which keep roasting and roasting and roasting. It's never really catching fire. And then finally you think it's getting cooked and it's a decent sort of chicken in the end. And it was honestly the peri peri masala which kind of makes it special right now, right? At least, if you guys know.
Yeah, you could have had a ghosh punch.
Love it.
So I think just the kind of recipe for her innings construction. I do feel Perry, and she admitted as well that she was slow to begin with, but she caught up. But you could understand why she was trying to go slow because it's the middle overs that is it's where they've been really stuck. And Heather Knight again.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
close shot. No, inside edge, and that saved Capsy.
yeah, and
But yeah,
again,
okay,
like
go on.
it was a Heather Knight thing that she's not been able to come good in any of those games, and it's led to them having to just hold back a bit more. So hopefully from here on as well, if they get the first win today, they can start to gel together as a confident unit because with Mandana, it was very clear that she would not hit the ball in the air. You saw in the first 4 overs, everything was straight bat as much in the V. And I tweeted that as well. And maybe it was because Marizan Kaur was bowling. She did not take the risk. Shika Pandey came on. She took the aerial risk and she got out. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that when you're thinking too much or not really sure that how do I want to go about it, these things happen. But Perry has given them that platform that okay, this is how maybe you'll have to go ahead and see if all the team clicks together as a unit.
Let's see. I mean, at the end of the, 18 odd overs, we'll of course be able to judge if the pitch was actually a 150 track or if they're 25, 30 runs short. But the good thing is that Shafali's got up, at least from a Bangalore perspective. He mentioned Smriti Mandana there. It's the almost the elephant in the room right now when we're talking about Bangalore in this league. What has happened to her? So she looked sucked out of life. I mean, even her batting's not come to the fore. Is it captaincy weighing down on her? Can you put a finger on it?
I mean, it's very difficult to know what has happened, but this is definitely the worst slump that she has witnessed in her career. I've never seen her out of form for this long. This is like 5 games at a stretch.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it ultimately, from the outside, it might seem like captaincy. Maybe that is the reason. Maybe she's a little too caught up with, oh, I'm responsible now. I have to, bat in a certain way. It's also good captaincy against her because even today, Capsy bowled the second over, and teams have figured out that bowling off spin to her early on in her innings is the way to go.
Yeah.
So that is a challenge that now she needs to identify a way to circumvent. Uh, Not particularly pleasing to watch when an opener plays out a maiden.
Yeah.
Because you'd rather not take the strike than if you're not in confidence.
Yeah, I mean, it just begs the question. Oh, and look at this. Alex Capsey's had enough of Renuka, gone down the ground, and she'll just get a boundary.
Yeah.
So 12 for 1, 1.5. Sync your streams in, or if you're watching, of course, on telly, you guys can watch it with us because we're watching it at the same time. And of course, subscribe to cricket.com right now. About Mandana, though, it just makes me think, even today, Nick, you just mentioned it, all the shots were carpeted. All the shots were almost like I'm playing for runs and I'm playing for my personal place right now. That's not good, right? It doesn't bode well for a new team in a new tournament.
Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag. It is also a bit about the combination that they were playing. I think Sophie was trying to go every ball as much at least it looked like she was going to go every ball. So you want somebody at the other end to maybe not take as many risks. And Smriti did get off to good starts in some of the games. She
Yeah.
just she came unstuck at a particular point where the risk did not come up for her. So today it felt like maybe let me give myself a couple of overs and then take the risk. Now it's just unfortunate or whatever you call it that the moment she took the first risk, it went against her. So these things happen, and again, she'll only get better. I mean, she's already so good. So this curve will help her understand these rough phases better. That okay, these things can happen. What is it that was really playing on my mind? As Somesh said, we are only going to presume whether it is captaincy, whether it is her own expectations that she's not being able to live up to. So this will teach her, and hopefully, whenever she comes out next, she'll be in a much better phase. And I don't think it was playing for herself as much because towards the at the end of the day, it will benefit the team far more if she's able to contribute more.
Yeah.
So, and that is the rope that you would definitely give your captain at least. That she's given that freedom to find her game as soon as possible.
Yeah, let's see how that Smriti Bandana story goes on because today was the first time, believe it or not, she's been dismissed by a pacer. Som touched upon the spin susceptibility, but we have, of course, a man who's not susceptible to anything these days, apart from a couple of dodgy paradas that he eats time to time. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. In fact, since Virat Kohli stamped his authority again, I haven't seen you. You've been hiding under the radar. What's going on?
No, no. Today, I didn't expect the day to early as possible. So I
Right.
was planning myself for a 5 p.m. kind of a finish, but couldn't. That is why I was commenting. But yeah, I was listening to the conversation that was happening, and I just wanted to come in and say that I think Smriti is now gone into the kind of mode that KL Rahul underwent when Punjab started losing.
No, don't draw that comparison. Even Nick's shaking his head.
No, because like Nix was saying, she was very adamant that she wanted to just somehow survive the power play and then
Yeah.
probably take her risk because she was getting dismissed in the power play. But I don't think that as a opener you can play that way in T20s. She just wanted to take all the responsibility upon herself, which is something that we have seen with KL Rahul as well when Punjab started losing. So yeah, it's it's unfortunate. I mean, she's averaging 17.6. Uh, this is something that you don't associate with her, and it's clear that she wants to take it upon herself to probably deliver the first win out of somewhere. But if this is the approach she's going to take, she's not going to help herself or the team because like Nikhil was mentioning, there was just too much pressure on Sophie Devine to then just start going for everything. And no batter can just start going for everything because there are some balls which are to be respected. So
Yeah.
it's a little unfortunate to see Smriti like that. And yeah, let's hope she bounces back soon.
Yeah. Even then, I mean, there are a few tactical things that always sort of baffle me. I remember it was the IPL 2020 season where Prithvi Shaw was getting bowled in the first over itself, and I was constantly thinking that why isn't Shikhar Dhawan taking this strike?
Yeah.
And today was one such day when, I mean, Smriti was clearly she wanted to play the first over out.
Yeah.
And I was here thinking that maybe then she's not the right person to take the strike. And even in the second over, when there is an off spinner bowling, Sophie Devine hit a four on the first ball, and then the very next ball she took a single. I mean, I think this is something that we will see a lot more in the coming years, taking on the positive matchup. I mean, there's no harm in infusing the single on that ball because you know that you can take your favorable matchup down
Yeah.
in the over and score a lot more.
I mean, sometimes even Swans mentioned this to us in one of the stat shows that he lets the batter kind of take the single so he can bowl to his favorite matchup. KL is everywhere, Nikhil. You are right saying so.
Yeah. I mean, this might even have an impact on her India captaincy thing as well because I mean, she is the vice captain at the moment.
Or in terms of captaincy, but she won't be dropped.
No, I mean, of course not. I'm just talking from a captaincy perspective because there will come a point where India will have to move on from Harman.
Yeah.
And at this point of time, if you're going to ask anyone before this tournament, Smriti was the ideal candidate.
No, true. And I mean,
and
KL as well,
just
right? I mean, how Hardik has superseded him in terms of the pecking order of the captaincy.
just to add on to that comparison, I mean, Bangalore forced in four changes today.
That's four. That's funky from Capsy. She'll get 4 20 for 1 BC. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Bangalore sort of forced 4 changes today, if I'm not wrong, right? And even then, Van Kirk has not been able to find a place. This is very similar to how Punjab were playing in the men's T20 league, where they had tried out 16 players before they finally got Chris Gayle into their 11, and it took them 5 losses or probably 6 losses and 1 win after the half tournament was over to bring Gayle in. So
but why do you think she's not
similar.
brought in? Did she fail a yo-yo test again?
I just have a point here before. So I think the changes that they made today for short.
She just opened up the outlet. Yeah.
So I think the changes that they made today were logical. No, I think they were logical because it's the first time they are playing a DY Patil. And RCB are a pace-heavy bowling lineup. And these are the conditions they've actually bought Megan Shute and Renuka for. And so essentially they predominantly went back to the 11 that they first started with. I think that's the only reason. Otherwise, they would not have made so many changes. But yeah, go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying. That their trajectory is going very similar to how Punjab's trajectory was going in that 2020 IPL.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of comparative. I mean, when you look at it from that angle, but 24 for 1 Delhi Capitals now. Capsy is going great guns, Knicks, but Meg Lanning is the talk of the town in terms of leading that orange cap race. How would you kind of bowl to her? Sorry.
before we finish off the Punjab similarities, the only thing Bangalore women cannot do is finish sixth in the league.
Oh my god. Because it's a five-man competition. I mean, five-woman competition, that is. Yeah, just on landing, because look, I don't want to keep talking about Bangalore, who just keep conceding boundaries in this power play. I mean, it's just so frustrating, right? We've seen so many
No, but
Bangalore. And
but this is
today,
just
like, for example, like just an example, Shikha Pandey catching Heather Knight. You would never see Shikha Pandey do that in her life. But if she's playing against Bangalore, guess what? Shikha Pandey turns John D. Rhodes. I mean,
yeah, the things haven't been going or working in favor of Bangalore. In fact, even if you look at the last two boundaries, it's not like this is bad bowling. She's actually cutting
exactly.
from the stumps. She's actually cutting from the stumps. This is actually great batting. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean,
And she's holding
you
a
really
bat. I
can't.
mean, a little touch goes like Peter
So,
Yeah,
Handstrom like.
giving captaincy,
she's holding.
I have a question to ask all of you. In my opinion, I mean, McLanning is, of course, there is no doubt about her captaincy credentials. But I felt at that point of time, she made a mistake giving her the 16th over.
Hmm.
They had 4 overs from both left arm spinners remaining,
Yeah.
and still she opted to go with Capsy against two righties, and that over itself changed the momentum. I mean, do you guys think differently, or was it a fair call? Am I just overthinking, overanalyzing?
I think it's a so maybe she saw something that she definitely wanted to try. Maybe she felt that the extra risk may not work in the favor of the batter, and it was about that one wicket at that point of time. And then you would have a lot of plethora of local batters who could come in and they could stifle them. It's the same thing that I feel even now. Preeti Bose has to come into the game. There is the Delhi struggles against left arm spin has been well documented, and yes,
Oh,
right.
here she is.
Yeah, so
Here she
here
is.
she is. So that is something that I'm very keen to see how quickly or I see the last game also they promoted the local batters before the overseas ones and she starts with the ball.
Full toss. It's a full toss.
I know, but sometimes it goes straight to the fielder.
No, it
But for
doesn't.
Bangalore, it'll never go straight to the fielder. If Mumbai or Chennai are playing, I know Chennai don't play in this league, but still, their fielders would have just got behind that and been like, "Yeah, chal, chal, ek aur kar de." Here, it's just like go pick it up from the fence again. And Capsy's got her luck, but yeah. Sorry, next, go on.
Yeah, so I think it is like those calls that are working in favor of Delhi because they are like again that is another four I think
But
yeah
this is poor
two
bowling.
full
I mean, Elise Perry mentioned in the mid innings break as well
hold
that
back yeah.
I mean, it's not poor bowling, it's just really good batting and that element of luck.
First two was I think it's poor bowling, honestly.
Poor, what else could she do? I mean,
This is overpitched.
the
proper.
Capsy's made it overpitched.
No, not really. Even if she wouldn't have moved, this is a proper overpitch.
Okay, come on, Preeti. Show me something so I can back you here. She's conceded
So
8 in her first 2 balls. First time we're seeing spin in this power play. And RCB were, of course, Bangalore, of course. Coco who put that first wicket of Shefali was so far no luck after that. Nitin going on to ask a very vital question. Reverse.
But
And
Again,
again,
it's-
Richa's legs for 4. What
but
are
again
your...
too full again too full see these are the margins that you have to work with it is what it is you can't do much about it.
I think
Okay,
you
I
could-
agree. I agree. Maybe it's shocking bowling, but look at what are the odds of it going through Richa's legs? For
No,
4?
I mean it's
so
That's
so one thing that I want to say, and I observed that when Bangalore were batting as well. Now, one side of the boundary is actually shorter. It's a 50-meter boundary, and I observed that in the. Oh, this is great batting actually now. So I observed that in the Tara Norris over.
Let's just end the Watchalong. Thanks for watching. It's a good match. No, but yeah. Sorry,
Now,
go on.
when you know one side of the boundary is shorter, right? You have to try and make sure that the batter hits towards the longer side. And in that over, what Tara Norris kept doing is that she kept changing her lengths, but the line was the same. She made sure that Perry and both Ghosh can target the leg side short boundary and get sixes.
Come on! Yes, that's the wicket we wanted. And Preeti has the last laugh. Capsy came and she went.
Yeah,
I
but I think
told
Capsies has done her job. I feel.
Yeah, it's fine. She's done what Shefali would have done had she been at.
I
she'd
know,
been at
but
the
it
crease.
just felt like a good release to kind of just celebrate.
Matchup
it's
work.
straight down
Matchups
Perry.
work when they are used well. So yeah, just
Matchups work.
बट यार मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि होली का कौन सा कलर लगाया है जो 5 दिन बाद भी नहीं निकला यार, अभी तक भी नहीं उतरा. I want this color.
Yeah, I don't think it's a holy color.
Okay, now I want Jemima to come out and eat like some 10 dot balls for fun. And then again, it just brings the game back into parity because Delhi's finishers, guys, who do they have again?
Everyone.
So there is Madison Cup, and there's
Hey! We have Sornigam and Sukhbir, and I'm trying to figure out is there a single
Benny there.
Benny Dayal. Good old Benny Dayal. But yeah, I mean, who are Delhi's finishers?
so
Yeah, okay,
there is
Ladin
they have three proper batters to follow: Jemima, Madison Cup, and Jonathan. After that, there's Tanya Bhatia.
Tanya Bhatia, don't worry a little bit about. Jess Jonathan is someone who I would definitely worry about. And thanks, Nitin. Very kind of you to say that. In fact, you check out the cricket.com app because that'll blow your mind. We've got some brand new features, feeds, all of that. Yeah, let me enjoy my moments, Subodh. You've enjoyed the 4 wins with Arman and Saika Shah.
And 5 titles with MI.
And 5 titles with MI.
Mumbai.
Yeah, I mean, Mumbai. But yeah, and of course, we have our lovely social media handles that you guys can follow as well.
Do you guys
All
think
the stats that we saw come out of the BGT as well? Thankfully, that goddamn series is done.
Do you guys think that this pitch has a little bit of grip on offer? Because I felt when Jonathan was bowling that if you bowl it slower, there is slight hold up, which will actually make it tougher for batters to then hit through the line or probably
And actually, that's
find
what
a
the
boundary.
WC as well. I mean, it's today. Today was the half. I mean, last night was the halfway mark after the game was done.
But that also comes out of how Jess Jonathan is so crafty as a bowler.
Of course, obviously. I mean, if you're going to bowl full tosses and half volleys, then no pitch would be helpful. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but like the first 4 balls over here,
we've shown that DY Patil has had a lot more assistance to the bowlers.
yeah, I mean the first 4 balls in that over by Bose were fuller lengths, and she was also trying to dart it in, and I don't think whatever pace she was going to dart it in, she was going to rush the batter for pace. If anything, she was only going to make it easier for someone like Capsy to use the pace and then find the boundary.
Okay,
whenever someone says that a particular spinner was trying to dart the ball in, instantly my mind goes to Harbhajan Singh in the 2007 final. Not Clark, the final.
The final.
He kept darting to Misbah and he kept on hitting sixes.
At least
he got hit for a 6 by Misbah in that recent league as well, the Legends League, and actually he's getting good loop. I saw a few deliveries.
Yeah, he bowled crisping around his legs, no?
Yeah.
And I think he got Ross Taylor LBW, which is the most, shocking LBWs I've seen. Some umpires call outside fifth stump and showing up.
Yeah, he stopped getting that bounce and that loop for India in the last 3-4 years of test matches that he played.
Gurkirat, you mentioned a point about the boundaries just a while ago. Nitin has one which is, of course, with regards to the boundaries. Do you think it should probably be pushed back further? Because the power game, something that we mentioned at the top of the show, is there to see. So maybe a little bit more challenging for the women, as it's still early days.
So, there are two factors over here. One is, probably you can understand why the boundaries have been brought in, because you want big scores and you want, the crowd to have interest, because in T20s, big scores will generate far more interest than 120 or a 140 kind of a score. There is that. But the flip side of it is that you ideally want the same boundary dimensions that you encounter in the international games, because else you'll not be able to judge, or you'll have to take the performances with a pinch of salt. I mean, it's one thing to clear 50-meter boundaries, but it's another to clear 60-meter boundaries. Now you might select someone who's cleared 50-meter boundaries comfortably, but that player might struggle to clear those 60-meter boundaries.
So that's speaking about clearing boundaries, or no woman's land.
One pitch, one hand.
One pitch, one hand, yeah. But yeah, they just show the ground dimensions as well, Gurkirat. I mean, these women should start improving their lap shots, because it's 43 meters and 47 respectively behind the wicket and the offside. So maybe some
Yeah, I
funk
mean,
there.
I've always had this question, and maybe we will do a proper debate on this someday.
Mm.
Do you think that cricket should actually think about standardizing boundaries? Because there are
It should
already a lot of
happen.
variables. I mean, I know if you're going to ask people, I mean, the proper cricket expert, they'll say this is the beauty of our game because that is the traditional response to everything. Everything is the beauty
No,
of the
no.
game. You have
I,
some grounds
I,
where people can score 35 ball hundreds for fun,
Yeah.
and then they are counted
for
as
me,
all-time records. And what's the point?
for me, the standard size of boundaries in men's cricket should be 75 meters, and
Yeah.
in women's cricket you can have it between 60 to 65 meters. I
Yeah,
think
no, but the
75
point is,
meters.
should this be implemented across venues? I mean, this should be standardized across venues, right?
I
That's
think
what FIFA does,
if
right? In terms of pitch dimensions as well. They might have small pitches, but they all meet a certain requirement. I'm sure the ICC
I,
works
I,
as well.
I read
Don't
I
think so. I
read
mean, there are
somewhere
some
that
venues which are 55
I,
meters.
I read somewhere that in the new venues there is a minimum size, but I think that minimum standard size for boundaries is 60 meters, which I think for men's cricket is too short. Okay,
Mhm.
I mean, if you have 60 meter kind of boundaries, what you get is what is happening in the PSL,
Yes.
which is Hong Kong sixes on steroids along with flat pitches. So you don't want that. I think for men's cricket the average boundary size has to be between 70 to 75 meters. It's not possible to have it just 75 meters because not all grounds are circular in shape. Some are oval, some are like Lords or Trent Bridge,
Some
where
are
it's
rhombus,
just a
some are
different shape. Yeah,
pentagons, like Greenwich.
yeah. So
Yeah, and
so even some,
also just to add to it, the problem with standardizing pitches in cricket is you are never sure which kind. I mean, cricket is a game that's played on like 5, 6 pitches at a particular stadium. So when you are standard, even if you standardize it for a while and you feel that okay, but these 2 pitches are not ready, you're always going to play on the same set of pitches over and over again, which may not be good for the game because the pitches may get very tired. Which is why you'll say you see a NatWest game or a Blast game at the Trent Bridge, there are days when you play in the center and it feels like both boundaries are still fairly even. Again, fairly is also a hyperbole there, but if you're playing at the side, some days it's crazy. It's like it's as good as a 30-yard circle. So the problem with standardizing is that there are so many pitches that you're going to use. So then it will never be in a case that we'll be able to meet that requirement. So uh, of course there
yeah,
could be still be a bare
good
minimum
point.
criteria that have this one, but I think given like if you want to spread the game, this will act as a hindrance because you'd want the game to go to newer places. So as maybe the newer venues, maybe they can increase it to 60 to 65, but I don't think standardizing may happen because of the dependence of the
I mean,
pitches.
see, all I want is ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि भाई you end up with 55-meter boundary, which happens often.
That's true, but
Yeah,
what do you do about those grounds which have been great venues in terms of cricket
yeah,
history?
I
Next,
think
push.
I think we can.
Like the basic
Let,
reserve,
We're
Sabina
done
Park,
with power play. Let's just
So
come back to the game for a bit. Who is ahead at the moment?
Bangalore.
Delhi.
wow.
I think it's
Of course,
even.
the right answer.
Come on, man. This is the head talking, not the heart. Here.
Even.
Yeah.
No,
Again, speak about it.
coming to the point that Nikhil mentioned, it's not that different kind of venues with different boundary sizes or skewed boundary sizes don't come with a challenge. I mean, if we look back at the World
No,
T20 and
yes.
the first round if anyone followed the games at Geelong, it was I like those games at that venue because they brought a different challenge along with it. If you were a smart bowler, you were ensuring that the batter only has to hit down the ground, and down the ground boundary was 85 meters. No matter how well you connect, it was not easy to clear those boundaries. And as a batter, the challenge was that you somehow manipulate the lengths wherein you can target those side boundaries. And someone like Kushal Mendes did it extremely well in that Netherlands game. So yes, there is some beauty to it, but I do think that there has to be a standardized range anyhow, because then it like Sumesh mentioned, if you're playing at Eden Park or if you're playing at Rawalpindi, I mean, 40 ball 100 at Rawalpindi is not the same as a 40 ball 100 say at a I don't think even if it's possible at an MCG, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think the one way to also maybe sum it up is when there is space, when you see a 4 or a 6, it should not be that much. which you see happening in the PSL as well, that the boundary is so much pulled in that there is no need for it. If there is space, just use the maximum size possible. And because I get that you want 200, but you don't want 260 chasing 260. Don't make it a mockery or a EA Sport 07 kind of game.
Yeah, that's
By
what
the
we
way,
saw
that
in
Hong Kong
the
sixes thing that I said during the day of the IPL auction has caught up on Twitter.
Yeah, of
I
course.
got so I got so many mentions yesterday, or maybe it was day before when there was this 260 made.
Yeah, it honestly is a tournament which captivates you like no other. 59 for two,
Fielded.
nearly 62 for two.
Fielded,
But
fielded.
so far, I mean, this over spin from Asha, I mean,
But they are
she's
getting a
giving it a
boundary.
lift.
But they are getting a boundary every over. Essentially, what they do.
True, but the key again comes back to landing. I mean, that was my question to Nix before we got into a absolute flurry of chats. How do you plan for someone like Meg Lanning? Because she's already kind of notched what over 200 runs in this tournament in 5 games. She's shown her pedigree in this format. I mean, is there a chink in her armor, in Meg Diddy's armor?
Yeah, there is left arm spin. It has of late troubled her a lot. She has gotten out to it also a lot of times. And see, the thing with Meg Didi, as you'd want to call her, is she's so experienced that she knows the other areas to access. So if she's not getting the cut, she knows to use the V, get across, take the single, take the other bowler on, and just pace her knock much better. So now I think this is still a good time. Apart now, had that boundary not come up, Jamie, it would have been a very good tight over because then you are leading up to Meg having to take that risk. And
Yeah,
that is something that hasn't happened. And I'm not sure why Preeti Bose went out of the attack. She has to come back. You have
yeah,
to bowl her from one end, keep that end tight, make her attempt the reverse, make her look to come down and get a stump because you need her. Without getting her out, you are not going to get close in this game. So
yeah, and that's the
that's
thing.
that capsy that the capsy bit has to be taken back.
I
Because, I
think
mean,
at this point of time, this pair is going to bat for 80 for two at the end of 10 overs, and from there on they'll start switching gears because they are already ahead of the rate. If they
true.
can garner 20 runs in the next 3 overs, which is not much of a task,
Hmm.
they'll be more than satisfied with how they're going.
Sriyanka Patil in the attack in the Deepa Patil. I've always wanted to say that.
And like we mentioned, even Sri Lanka has been has been a find.
Has been a
of
fine.
sorts.
Mohit, who's on our watchalong, kept saying that she kind of doesn't bowl at the right time when she's supposed to. Apparently, she's a death over specialist with a really good Yorker. Talk about Harbhajan Yorkers firing it in. She does something similar. So let's see how she goes about here because they've chopped and changed, like Nick said. Preeti Bose came in, then out of the attack. We saw over spin last time out with Asha. So 90 of 77 with
Ball,
8 wickets in hand. You're
valid.
thinking it's a cruise, but we've seen funny things happen so far. Nitin will take a question right now. Is there a one-word answer consensus, or do you think we'll all kind of have different preferences? I know who I'm going to go for.
If you're talking about concerns, maybe for me it's Elise Perry. I don't
Elise
know.
Perry, okay. Elise
Yeah.
Perry?
Before
I
he
think
said
everyone-
my answer is same.
Four. Again, one more four. That's all they need. A 4 and over.
That's the problem. I mean, even if you kind of just are off your lines a little bit, they're going to punish you, especially someone like
No, sorry. I
Right.
didn't ask any.
Somesh's watch going off as well. Guys, thoughts on Natu and Elephant Whispers getting Oscars. The South Indian film industry is making noise internationally. Good on them, actually. Good on them. I mean, for them to kind of just go from strength to strength is good to see. I think I saw the other movie as well, the Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, or something like that.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Not something
Exactly.
like that. नहीं है भाई movie. वो गाना है.
Yeah, so that was a good watch. I don't know if Gurkirat's ever watched RRR. Have
No,
you
I
seen
haven't.
Natu? It's basically the
I've
Natu.
seen the song video. I've
Yeah.
seen the song video, but I have not seen the movie.
I mean, talk about views. That
So I want to know from
song,
you, in the movie buff you are, the choreography in that song, is that the speed which they've actually danced at, or they've danced at a lower pace and then made it 1.2x or something? Right?
My best guess is that the fact
Because it seems exceptionally fast. I mean,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a human being to.
but I wouldn't be
execute that.
surprised. I mean, India and dance is obviously crazy. and we've
Sure,
seen
but
it.
I mean, those guys, I mean, I can imagine someone else doing it, but I mean, for an actor who has a lot of other talents as well, to be having this as, I mean,
Yeah, I think there's some
crazy.
sort of talent and skill, but obviously now living in 2023 and the movies being made nowadays, they will have some sort of tweaks. Let us know, by the way, in the comments if you
Yeah, if
guys
someone knows someone, if someone has read about it or knows about it, please enlighten us.
think
See,
like
I'm not seeing. I've really not. I've only seen the two people in that song video, so I've not really seen them act or seen other their other work. But say, from Bollywood, the actors that I have seen. So maybe if Ritik and Ranbir were doing this, I might have thought that okay, they have done it in real because they're actually that good dancers. I don't know.
maybe Ganesh
I-
Hegde, bro. Ganesh Hegde.
I mean, those guys obviously they are professional dancers,
Prabhu
but for
Deva.
actors to pull it off, even I would be surprised even Ritik could pull this off in real time.
No, but Ritik's good.
He's good, he's excellent.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that, but the speed at which they dance and
Oh,
that
that-
song is like mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, some crazy choreography. I mean, let us know if you want us to do those dance moves.
No,
right
please
now.
don't. I'm not Amish. Maybe
If you had to redo one ball in the history of cricket, which one would it be?
if you had to redo, मतलब हम करेंगे बोले
Yeah.
क्या होगा?
I'm guessing that's what Nitin means.
I think he means that
Rewatch?
I have the answer.
Okay.
Like I would have really hoped for a different finish in that 99 World Cup semi-final. Not that run out. I mean, South Africa have had too many heartbreaks. I would have probably wanted a reversal of that result.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty difficult to top that.
South Africa, Australia?
Or what about Grant Elliott hitting Stain?
That's a good one. That's a good
No,
one.
but
I mean, we were talking
see, that
about-
was the why I don't want to redo that is because that was New Zealand's first final
Yeah,
in a World Cup, and because they fell short in that 92 World Cup, because of an Inzamam special. South Africa in 92 had that rain rule, and then in 99 they were really the team to beat, and they had actually done well in that World Cup. I'm not even talking about that drop of Gibbs. If he had probably taken that, maybe Australia were not even in the semi-finals. But I just think that that run out was a very, very cruel finish to uh, just the entire campaign of South Africa. I mean, it was a tie. They didn't even lose to get eliminated, and just the way.
Talk about cruel runouts. I'll probably redo the MS Dhoni 2019.
that's very
Come on.
vanilla.
Come
Not
on.
expected from you. Or
Come
maybe it is
on.
expected from you. Being the RCB fan, you.
No, but
I was actually going to check for the Bangalore there.
even if not for that run out, there was still an element of chance for probably New Zealand to be ahead or win that game. But I think that run out of Lance Klusner or Alan Donald in that 99 semi-final, it's just too cruel. I mean, they actually survived a run out on the previous ball, and just the way Klusner got that game till the end and then managed to just not finish it. I mean, I can't. Maybe there are other cruel finishes. There's obviously that 99 Test match or in Chennai. There's 2014 Adelaide, but I just think that nothing comes close to the cruelty of sport than that 99 run out in that semi-final.
Yeah, the
And in a way, that South African team were deserving of at least one trophy till about the
Yeah.
2015 World Cup
Yeah.
at least.
I do think had they reached the finals, they would have probably beaten Pakistan.
They did beat them in the Super Sixes too. So.
Yeah, and
Did we
Pakistan lost to Bangladesh in that World Cup.
Yeah. That's how Bangladesh got the Test status, and that's why everyone feels that game was fixed.
Yeah, the Bangladesh team will become recognized. Pujara bowling today gave headache to Ashwin. Yeah, he tweeted about it, and we can put it up on our social media as a post as well. Ashwin better suits as a stand-up comedian, saying Prashant Guru. Ashwin, I mean, I was seeing him talk to all these Star Sports guys after, and I generally think he's got his second innings sorted in terms of being the Star
He's a-
Sports person.
Yeah,
He's a
unless
multifaceted
the
guy.
mentor for any
True,
IPL team or something.
but do you think he'll likely be a coach or commentator, Ashwin?
I mean, knowing him, he would rather want to be. I mean, he would rather want to be with the team, right? He loves the sport so much.
But I just see him as in like 10 years' time, he'll be Murli Karthik's replacement.
I hope so. I want it to be, but let's.
I don't think anyone's going to complain.
Oh, that's that. Long off in business,
Six.
surely.
Six.
Yes! Yes! That's the wicket. And it's Asha who sussed Meg Lanning into that playing that shot, like Nick was talking about. There was no
Subhana has
time
given
to
some
take
Asha.
the pressure has crept in. And Nick's,
Not
like
really,
you said,
not really. I feel
it's a release shot.
I feel it's a needless shot. They were getting boundary every over, and that is what they needed.
True, but
Yeah.
like with Lanning, because I mean the score's 17, she's still 11. So obviously it's an ego thing.
I think she was just looking at her score and not the target.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
obviously, I'm too small a guy to talk about the legend she is.
And
but
Bangalore getting the best out, 15 of 18. Go back to
Subhana,
not the day to day.
Subhana giving some Asha to Bangalore.
So what about your 80 for 2 at 10 overs and then going Gango? Not happening, son. It's not the Capitals' night tonight. It's capital
okay.
punishment from Bangalore. You can take Capitals.
It's okay.
maybe
It's Capitals.
If
What's the capital of the world? It's Capitals.
I'll just
But yeah,
add the one ball.
What's happening?
Sorry, I just said if I want to redo the one ball, it will be the Mitchell Stark ball to Brendan McCullum. I felt that one ball just 2015 final
2015.
felt very needless. I mean, they still did well, and only to get like 2 wickets to Faulkner in an over, and the game never really got back from there. But I felt had that been done, it would have been a very fairy tale story for New Zealand to, really say. I mean, McCullum era baseball, maybe it would have shaped up very differently, but I think
Yeah.
that dismissal still irks me a lot.
Some great cricket moments. I mean, we've seen in the past. Gurkirat, you say that runouts are cool, but I think runouts show the quality of fielding, stance, and of their skill. Even if you think that it's the poor decision from the
That's
batters.
poor. That's poor.
Poor way to end the over, but yeah, shocking. And Gurkirat and runouts are the best of enemies. He's mentioned this time and time and again that he just doesn't like
So,
runouts.
Gurriel, whenever you're playing in a gully cricket, I'm assuming to
You call for a
भागता ही
run-out.
नहीं होगा ना,
Call
mainly
for a
for
run-out.
only boundaries.
No. So
तू एक एंड से खेल मैं एक एंड से खेल रहा हूँ let's keep trying.
no, I'm not like Chris Shrikant, but so I was just recently at a friend's wedding and they had a cricket match between the ladke wala and ladki wale. I just told my partner, I said कैसे भी आउट हो जाऊंगा बट रन आउट नहीं होना. मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं, डॉट बॉल खेल लियो, मैं भी खेल लूंगा, बट रन आउट नहीं होना. And we were very clear, so we did run twos and we did do but only when both of us were sure. I just told him, I said this is the worst way to get out. And like कोई बात नहीं, एक दो बॉल डॉट खेल लेंगे पर रन आउट नहीं होना. So both of us did not get run out, and in fact no one from our team got run out.
कैसा
So I
रहा
was
वो
very
मैच?
happy.
पिच वगैरह सही थी?
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just hoping
couldn't-
they got enough time to get the messages through from Gurkirat to him and back so that they could have the game in time.
So after I was dismissed, I became the leg umpire. So I ensured that the messages were always in the air on the two players' bat. And I was a very fair leg umpire, not the ones that you see in these gully cricket matches where you never give your batter out. I was very fair.
Where every full toss is a no ball from the leg umpire.
I even gave a stumping out, which was
wow.
close. Yeah.
Right, so guys, 75 for 3 now. I mean, Delhi pretty much halfway there, but Bangalore definitely have a say.
Free ad for Courtyard Marriott.
Which is always the case in Viva Parliament.
Ends up
Always
in the
is the
background.
case. Even when they show the camera from the pavilion end or whatever the end is called, I mean, it's always like free advertising for them.
Short.
Because they've got things back, and I don't think this is a good move because Malzahn Cup, we've seen how much he relishes pace. Nick, what's the thinking here? Because they could have
It just
probably gotten a
flew
touch
off her
more.
bat.
Or do you think they're thinking something else?
Yeah, I mean, of course, they want. Again, the matchup is average. You can check it on cricket.com's app. You could just easily scoop it and see 18 balls, 21 runs, 1 wicket. So, of course, now they are trying to do what Delhi did to them, that they brought on Marizam Cap to get Knight and Perry out early. So, in that sense, okay, fine. But I do feel there is enough spin bowling that can really tie down Marizan and force the mistake from Jamie as well. So, and there is hold in the surface. So, maybe the plan is to hold it back and make them hit the cross bat up in the air. But I do feel they'll have to use the spinners a bit more. Maybe it's just that 1 wicket that they want, one of these two. Because after this, then you are still going to need somebody to anchor from here on. Because they have Jonathan and the rest. So maybe it's that lure.
It's just Jonathan and Inshallah after this.
Yeah.
Really is that. Jonathan, I mean, Abhish Bro, not sure you. God, done with this. Done with
You
COVID.
and
Done.
Sumedh need to get you and Subodh need to get a room and sort out your differences.
Why room? Why do you have to say a room to make it all look like
Maybe
it's some
you guys
sexual
need to get a
something?
Zoom.
Yeah, maybe a Zoom call. So, bro, don't buy into Gurki. That's. I mean, he's not been happy since Kohli scored 100. So clearly something's not right.
You
Wait,
are
he
going
didn't
to
do it
make
only.
sure.
What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
know. That's in jeopardy. I feel in the
Why?
last
Why?
days.
Why would you do it?
He's not.
Given the
No,
fair
I
guy,
was
why would you
He
do
didn't
that?
come in the. He didn't come in yesterday's Watchalong. He didn't come in yesterday's.
So that's why you're celebrating
Yeah,
Kohli's
that's what I'm
100.
saying. He was hiding from the fans.
no, there's
See,
nothing to
Christian
hide.
seems
I
pretty
was I
good.
was actually quite happy and I wanted to come on the watch along today. In fact, I was defending Kohli yesterday on Twitter when people said that he was batting slowly. I said no, he's not batting slowly. He's batting the best he can. People need to understand that he's not the same batter which he was between 2016 to 2019. He has to now take his time and then play accordingly. He's become someone who bats in the same mold as Chiteshwar Pujara.
But I think I remember the series against England in 2016-17. Even there, I mean, strike rate का difference कुछ 10 run का ही होगा. I don't
But
think even then, because at times I felt that he's playing a little too slowly. But I think that's how he bats once he's set.
no, so in that game, if we are talking about that 100 in Mumbai, I thought he was exceptional in Vizag when he had that 168 and 82. Probably deserved 100 in both the innings. In fact, there have been a couple of test matches where he's missed out on doing the double. There was one in Johannesburg in 2013. There was one in Trent Bridge in 2018. But if we are talking about that double century in Mumbai, a lot
Mumbai,
of it had to do with Adil Rashid coming around the wicket and bowling outside the leg stump. So he was just, waiting for, he was just batting time because at that point of time, India were also 6-7 down. They had to take a lead. But at that point of time, he still had a lot more shots than what he has right now. I genuinely believe that even when India go to South Africa later on this year, he needs to add a few more shots square of the wicket because he doesn't have the uppercut which Sachin had, and he stopped playing the glide or the cut through third man, which is sometimes very very important on pitches which have pace and bounce.
Yeah, I mean, Virat, of course, 186. I mean, we can't really take anything away from him. But I was going to going on to say, Abnish, yesterday was signing off. He said, Happy Monday. How can Mondays be happy? I'm upset. I mean, I only said that because it was a new week. Sometimes you've got to kind of pick the positives out of life. You wake up every day with some sort of
is
maksad.
there a chance?
For Knicks, it's fantasy cricket. For Gurkirat, it's Twitter. For me, it's Bangalore and other red teams who are not doing well right now. But yeah, it's life that just goes on. By the way, did you guys see the Delhi Capitals owner, Parchinder, yesterday, who was, of course, celebrating Bangalore's ISL win? To that celebration from him was brilliant. I mean, just brilliant. I honestly wish he owned RCB. I mean, Bangalore. I honestly think. I mean, if JSW is a management instead of this stupid Diageo, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, look at what they've done even in the auction this time around. So it's just mad.
Gurkirat disagrees, but okay.
What do you disagree
ask
about?
Ask him about what he feels about.
I mean, Delhi
Delhi
been unlucky.
and-
Look at what they've done in the last 5 years. They've done pretty well as a franchise compared to the shit show that they were for like 11 years.
uh, let's just not digress. Let's just focus on the WPL
Come
game
on,
because
come on. Okay, what do you okay? One word answer. Okay, maybe one sentence. Because I asked you this earlier. I said, what are your expectations from your Delhi team in the forthcoming men's T20 Indian League?
I don't think they're qualifying for playoffs. I don't think this time. And it's not because Pant is injured or Pant is not available. You can't be building a squad of 25 and have 9 players who can bat in the top 3. And among those 9 players you have half of your overseas squad.
I mean,
And
Ponting.
it's not the mistake that they've made it for the first time. They've been making the same mistakes since 2019. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, Shub, if you're wondering what he thinks, he's of
I
course.
have told Shub that I hope that Delhi finishes last this time so that there's a change in the coaching staff.
Shub might disagree because he's a lot of heart when it comes to
No,
Delhi.
so he says he agrees with me that Delhi can't win an IPL as long as Ponting is in charge. But he thinks that even if Ponting is replaced, there is no one who can be better than him. So that
Yeah,
is
because
where
all
we have a
the
little
good
clash.
ones tend to be taken, right? That's the thing.
Shub is a proper like de Villiers fan in terms of women's success. He's not seen his international team win anything. At least I've seen India win something, bro.
Yeah, true. मतलब वो दर्द ढूंढता है ना. His writing, what do you call it? Writing blood wants him, takes him to some pain. वो रॉकस्टार वाली लाइंस याद आ रही है मुझे. दर्द चाहिए उसको परफॉर्म करने के लिए. So he identifies with teams and players who
I'm
can't go
glad
on
you
and
said
win.
Rockstar Wali and not the Prema Ganwali.
नहीं दादा नहीं.
Nikhil, bro, which team do you
पारिवारिक
support?
शो है ये.
Who do you support,
Chennai.
by the way? Because I know you
Chennai.
support the women's.
Chennai.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
One of the bias will be for.
Oh,
Oh, dude, you cannot drop that. Sorry.
Down, Preeti, bowls
Straight in
all
and straight
over.
out. Oh.
Bangalore's chance to finally get 2 points, or is it?
And
That's a
Perry
very
is-
bad
You know
bob.
what this shot reminded me of? Dhoni in the 2011 semi-finals.
Oh,
Quarterfinal. Clark going down
Clark took the
and
catch.
taking a sharp low catch of Bretley.
That's a consolation gas.
And at that point of time, I did feel that the World Cup campaign's over for India.
Yeah. Me too. I thought you were done up कुछ years ago.
Why you guys didn't have faith in UV?
नहीं UV तो ठीक है, but I mean, Raina played a gem. UV तो ठीक.
Gem, bro.
And
He
even at that point, one more wicket and
gone.
No, because
Gone.
it was not just about UV. The ball was also reversing. It was the time where you did not have two new balls, and it was at the old Ahmedabad Stadium
so they used to change the ball at the 34 after
at the 34th over mark, and it was the old Ahmedabad Stadium, and the pitch was completely abrasive. I remember, I think Dhoni had gotten out in the 38th over, or probably with.
I remember that shambolic run out between Gambhir and UV.
Yeah, and in that game, I was sure.
Gambhir tried getting a run out three times in that game.
And Virat also hit like a waist high full toss of David Hussey straight to someone.
Michael Clark.
जैसे शेन वॉटसन आया बोला कि अब तो विकेट गया क्योंकि वो हमेशा ही आके इम्पोर्टेंट टाइम पे विकेट लेके जाता था.
Ponting got 100, right?
Yeah.
Ponting got 100.
And Ashwin played his first game, World Cup game.
No, Ashwin's first game was in Chennai. The game before.
Oh, against West Indies, correct.
Versus West Indies.
Oh, is there? No, there isn't. 1 second, 62-50, guys. Just coming back to the game, 89 for 3, 11.4. Are we smelling Bangalore's first win, boys?
Your nose is bad.
अभी 2 बॉल पहले बोला कि there goes your chance और अभी.
No, I mean, I'm just
Jazbaat
thinking.
bol rahe the.
I mean, because look, as good as Cap and Jemmy are, I mean, a wicket does really put the panic.
See, they have to ensure, this pair has to ensure that, they should just rotate strike till the 15th over mark. I mean, even if you get 20 of 20, you'd need 42 in the last 5 overs, which is very manageable. It's just about.
True, that's what I'm saying. With 30 required, I'll still back Jess Jonathan to come and do the job for them. But I don't know, with 50 required, and with a couple of wickets here, you never know.
Oh.
She's got that straight to her.
The ball's actually flying off Carp's bat.
Cups.
Shocking. I mean, I was just looking at some of the stats today, and I'm just like, leading wicket taker for Bangalore is Heather Knight out of all.
Who by the way, for an international side, averages 1 wicket in 5 games.
And this is the women's T20 league, the Indian version we're watching, of course. But I was also looking at that list in terms of leading wicket takers. Of course, Sekar Shak's there, there's Eccleston, there's Hayley Matthews. And it's an equal distribution of pacers and spinners, which tells you quite a bit about the competition so far. It's not been a sort of a lopsided thing with spin and pace. So it's good to see. I mean, even though the pacers have pretty much been international, Izzy Wong, Kim Garth.
Short.
Just one.
She's just timing it so well.
But this is like the one of the day.
True. I mean,
I'm
Jemmy
watching it on.
Better to watch.
I'm watching the game on.
Generally, textbook.
Generally, though, I mean, Smriti Mandhana.
Is better?
I'm watching the game on mute, but I can imagine the sound that might be coming off the bat. It's just flying off her bat.
No, I mean, my question is essentially who is the prettiest to watch in terms of Indian batters right now in this league? I saw your tweet yesterday, Gurkirat, about Harmanpreet and how she kind of goes into fifth gear and makes it seem like a video game. Do you think it's her, or do you think you'd like someone more technical like a Jemmy or a Smriti?
So Smriti obviously is I think quite elegant, and I feel she's also from the Virat Kohli mold, wherein if you try and sort of muscle the ball, things don't come off for you. But if you just look to time it and hold your shape, you do it quite well. But I really liked Shefali taking on spin bowlers, especially those left arm spinners. It reminded me of Sehwag, just coming down the pitch. See, one thing is you just come down the pitch and just then hit it. But what she's been doing whenever she's been coming down to spinners and coming down the pitches, she's also making room for herself to you just go inside out and open up the cover and the long off region. And I think that's really
Yeah,
great to watch.
and like Sehwag, she's also struggling with the ball coming in. So like the
Yeah,
analogy holds.
yeah.
Next, what about
But
you? I mean, if you had to, I know Dipti Sharma is your all-time favorite Indian cricketer, but in terms of a pure batter that you'd pay money to watch, who is it
short.
in this current crop?
Sure.
Yeah, of course. From the Indian side, it has to be Mandana and Harmanpreet. I think they are leaps and bounds ahead. Hopefully, we'll see much more of the local talent coming through. There are quite a few players who, let's see, once they start getting on to the WPL stages, we'll know more about them.
Hmm. Prashant
I,
Bhushan,
I I
all
just
those.
hope that someone in the men's team can just start playing the sweep shots like how Harman does, because
Hmm.
Harman
Right.
really sometimes when she's on song and attempting those slog sweeps, she really brings back memories of Yuvraj taking on spinners,
Yeah.
with the angle. She's so clean. I mean,
Yeah. Gurgia, there's another one from you from Crime Master Gogo saying, why should they omit Hanuman Vihari from the Indian Test setup? Didn't know the reason till today. I mean, Rafton one from
I
Crime.
remember there was someone who called Hanuma Vihari, and Hanuma Vihari went on to reply as
Yeah.
well. Let's stick to calling him Hanuma Vihari, please.
Hanuma.
There's no N
so
at the end.
there's this dialogue from a movie called Welcome. ये राज भी उसी के साथ चला गया. No one knows, because he played well against Sri Lanka in those two test matches, I thought. And then he had that one outing in England in Edgbaston, and then he was dropped. And I thought dropping him was unfair. I thought that maybe they could have stuck with him, but I don't know now what's the plan, because I, I do think that it is time for India to look at potential replacements of all three of Rohit, Pujara, and Virat because of their ages and their games. But I don't think there is any such plan in progression as of now.
I think I can think of two reasons. One is I think both Vihari and Iyer played in that series, and Iyer outscored
Vihari.
Vihari. And second, there was no Pujara then. So because of that England test, Pujara got a chance back and then did reasonably well and has stuck with the team. And
And
that's
plus,
how
Ayer's also done well.
and
so
that's
you
how
can't take him
Vihari
out.
sort of lost his spot. But I mean, on Vihari, what I felt is, given that he was already an India player, I don't think he's done justice to that at the domestic level. Because I remember in the olden era, especially for players who were strictly test players, I mean, they used to kill in domestic cricket. They were scoring double and triple centuries for fun.
That's true.
And with Vihari, this season that has not happened, and that is something, I mean, probably unlucky at this point of time. Maybe next year he picks it up. But yeah, I agree to the other point which we have made often, that it's high time that India start sort of looking for replacement one after the other, so that they are not in a position where they have to replace three players in one go.
Yeah.
Also, I feel if you compare Vihari with Pujara, he's again also of a similar mold. I don't think Vihari is also the kind of batter who has a lot of shots. And if you actually want to look at a replacement for Pujara, you want to look at someone who who has something over and above what Pujara can already do. I mean, I still think that if you want someone to grind the new ball, Pujara is probably the better bet than most batters than you have in the domestic circuit. And if you want to replace him with someone, you'd rather want to replace him with someone who's far more flamboyant. And I don't think that Hanma Behari had more range of shots than what Pujara does at this point of time.
Hmm. Let's get back to this game though,
Delhi
because
doing it easy.
Delhi kind of just bringing it home, 52 of 40 right now.
Yeah,
At
they've
least very
scored 10 in
well
10.
holy hair.
They were they were 62. They needed 62 of 40 50. They now need 52 of 40.
So if we think from Smriti's perspective, how how are Bangalore getting a wicket here? Because they need 2 wickets to win this game.
I would still say stick with spin and draw the mistake from the batsman. Because what's the point? Because Cap, like you said, oh hello, she's pitched and shot,
No,
no
no.
woman's land, no woman's land. That I mean,
So
is Bangalore on the field there?
So Shoot has 1 over left. Renuka has 2 overs left. So if you want to continue with pace, it's best to go back to these bowlers because they are your best bets in
But
terms of
not
pacers.
right now, right? I mean, you'd still keep that for the overs, maybe 17, 18,
No,
19,
I
20.
no, I don't think that playing the waiting game is really going to help beyond maybe an over more for Bangalore because
Mhm.
I don't think they have enough runs. And if you want to continue with spin or try with spin, then you must go either to one of Preeti Bose, Asha, or Shreyanka Patil. Maybe as Nikhil has been saying, probably going to Preeti Bose can help because she's a left arm spinner, and probably if she can bowl slowly and make sure that both these batters have to hit through the offside, maybe there's a chance. But she just has to decide that what is the line of attack she's going to take. Is she going to try and get them out by pace, or is she going to try and get them out by spin? Because I don't think at this point of time following a template is going to help. You have to go to your best bowlers who can deliver you the wickets, because if this goes to the 98th 20th over,
Oh,
I don't see how Bangalore are winning this.
One
I
more
mean, the
for
element of luck also plays a huge part, and Delhi had that large chunk of it tonight at least. Jemmy getting another scratchy 105 for 313.4. Let us know if you guys think Bangalore going to win, like I am, but it might just be all over in just a blink of an eye because Marizan Cap has the ability to take the game away, and Jemmy, of course, can just bat it down because, like we keep harping, Jess Jonathan's still in the hut. Also, if you guys are watching for the first time, subscribe to the YouTube channel and download the app. We're going to be doing watch-alongs for every IPL game as well, which is going to be something to savor. Different people, different opinions, lots of banter, stats, and fun. Right, so 46 of 38. Tomorrow's game is also an interesting one. We'll be doing a watch along with that. Unfortunately, to all you Vaishali fans, she's calling sick, so she's only probably going to come on the weekend. But we will, of course, have Bishan in the house to do that one tomorrow. And it is Mumbai, I think, we're playing. So records again beckon for that team. Talk about Delhi right now because they are inevitable in terms of making that top two. So, is there an MVP? The inevitable watch along question, the MVP. And if there's anyone, who is it?
I think so far if I have to pick one, I'll pick Meg
Captain.
Lanning.
Captain.
Yeah,
Is it
because
the obvious one?
not really. It's just my bet.
Who gives her a run for the money? Shifali? The pocket diamond?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, see, apart from these two, there have been players who have sort of chipped in time and time
Capsy,
again. They've had
Johnson.
2 5 wicket hauls
Yeah, correct.
in just what is the fifth game. So
Yeah.
overall, I think just on sheer consistency, I'll pick Lanning. And of course, I mean, uh, at times there are people we know, good analysts who say that captaincy don't really matter, but so often we've seen that a good captain actually changes the way the team thinks.
Hmm.
I mean, CSK. If you talk about Chennai in the was it the previous season or the season one previous season, right?
Yeah.
When they changed captaincy midway.
Yeah.
I mean, and things started happening for them. So I mean, I'll pick Lanning. I mean, maybe.
Next, what about you? Lanning, or do you think there's some left field choices here?
I think Lanning definitely takes it also with the way that she's led. So agree with Som as well. She's made lesser obvious mistakes like Mandana. That I mean, I could speak till they play the next game that they had to get the left arm spin around, but they just don't want to win, so they're not
Yeah.
getting around.
Okay,
I
here's
don't.
a run out. Here's a run out.
Oh,
Yeah.
they don't run out. Is she home? I think she's home
No.
here.
No, she's gone. She's gone.
I mean, I hope if that's
And
true, that poor
and
Gee.
and if you were to ask me, Delhi deserved to lose this game only for this run out, if not
Ah,
anything
of
else.
course, of course.
But what do you
Because
think? Out? I don't know.
It's
man.
out. It's out. It's gone.
I mean, her reaction tells me that
She's
she's
walking.
It's
shot.
gone. It's gone
Yeah.
by a fair distance.
Oh,
Oh.
bro, she's thrown the gloves also. मजाक चल रहा है भाई. She's home. She's
This is
home.
close.
So this is what happens.
You know,
I think she's on the line.
This is Bangalore. Honestly,
No,
we don't get that luck.
this can happen twice in a day. I mean, what
I'm saying.
Kane Williamson's stretch has been topped
Every inch
in a
matters.
matter of
No, but
not even 12 hours.
Not even 12 hours.
Wow.
I think
That
they'll have
is
to look at a
brilliant.
different angle
Could be I'm probably gonna get like a poster of that in my room.
because the frame's missing in this angle. They'll
But
probably have to
you
look at a
understood
different
that she's
angle.
home now, or no? You think she's not?
With this angle, I don't think you can give it out because in just the frame before this one, yeah, this might be a better.
Wow. She's home.
I don't think it is possible to give out with this angle because there's a frame missing. Because when the bails are dislodged, the bat just goes over the line.
I can just hear the umpires say there is no conclusive evidence. Batter is not out. I repeat, batter.
Yeah, but there
is
isn't. In this case, there isn't. If
so
the
that way
umpire
you
goes
say
by, if the
there's no
umpire goes by,
conclusive evidence. Bangalore have lost another. I repeat, Bangalore have lost another. I mean, that just do that, right? Essentially, just give it not out, dude. Ah, there we go. How often does the rubber the green go against Bangalore?
Yeah, but then you have to make your own luck. I don't think Bangalore have done anything to get that luck on their side.
That is
so
true. That is
fair
true.
play.
The value of a dive.
Yeah,
Indian
there have
fans,
been many runouts.
you
Many
pick that
runouts.
moment.
Yeah,
See the value of a dive.
value for dive. I mean, honestly, I mean, she also didn't know that she was going to be surviving that, but hopefully, Carp goes in a different way. 43 of 35. Is there any life? Wickets. That's what they need right now. But Carp will just get off strike. 42 of 34. Going back to the whole Delhi Capitals conversation, then, Gurkirat, who's the MVP for you? Because it's your franchise in terms of not yours personally, but as a fan, you support them. Is it Shefali? Is it Meg Lanning? Is it someone like Jess Jonathan who's been contributing and gone under the radar?
No, I think it's landing
Oh,
only
catch that!
because
Come on, catch that, Richa! Taken, baby. That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the wicket we needed.
You could have had
stupid shot,
I know. Let's not be greedy now. One at a time. And that's the wicket.
needless, completely
Has
needless.
that
I'm
swung the
pretty-
pendulum?
I'm really impressed with the leg spinner.
Very impressed.
And which
she's,
is why
Delhi-
why would
Delhi
you not bowl
specialist.
spin? Yeah, why would you not bowl spin all the while? They've gone back to pace
Exactly.
for
She's-
this. I think
has
after
the-
this season, we'll get to a stage where the overseas pros are trusted but not over trusted. I mean,
Yeah.
we've picked people for a reason. That one lady that the matchup also supports them. She's bowling well. Just stick to that. Why just go to big names, just hoping that they'll take a wicket? I mean,
For
to no
sure.
disrespect to Perry, she did create a chance, but then you have to stay at it. So thankfully, that is
No, and
at least
plus,
a window
like,
of opportunity.
the advantage with kind of sticking with these spinners is also playing in the ego. You're kind of sussing out a mistake because, like I said, women so asked me, how are you going to get a wicket? I think it's spin. Obviously, I didn't think Asha was going to be throwing the ball. I thought it was going to be Preeti or Shriyanka Patil, but good on Asha. Apparently, she's a specialist for Delhi games only because the last time she played a game was against Delhi. She was top 3 games.
Whatever it is.
Uh,
I mean,
Bro,
Asha giving some Asha to Avnish, and
I would be surprised. I mean, what is the more extreme word of surprise? I'm thinking about it. Flabbergasted if she's not playing
And
every
look,
game.
Bangalore playing a leg spinner. Maybe they should play an overseas leg spinner if you know. Now, she's really got one.
And with that Hasanga's celebration, it's like
Yeah.
shout out to the Bangalore men's team as well.
But that's really thrown it up.
yeah, but
I mean,
that
really
does it's a if you see the replay again, you can see lovely loop. I mean, just the way the ball came out of her hand.
brilliant. Slightly
Shot.
slow and just Johnson will get a boundary here. I mean, it's just a fraction short and she'll get a crucial boundary. It was turning out to be a sensational over. But again, that boundary just brought things back to parity. 37 of 31 now. Bangalore need wickets, and now, and after this pair, you would say there's
There's
not much
inshallah
batting.
batting.
Yeah, there's not much batting. There's inshallah to come. Like I keep saying, come on, Smithy, you have it in you to be a tactical person. Don't go by your men's leader.
Ex-leader?
Ex-leader.
Which one? Which one?
Leader.
Yeah.
Almost leader. So keep the keys.
There is no leader at this point of time.
No leader.
There has never been a leader.
He's there. He's just in his own.
That is something that I agree with. What Nikhil said.
He's leading the troops, lad.
Oh, chalo. कौन जीत रहा है?
कौन जीत रहा है? I mean, I think it is going to be Delhi, even though I like to say Bangalore. But what? Delhi, everyone?
No, I think Delhi. Yeah.
Yeah, Delhi. Next, Delhi.
One Megan shoot over from a Bangalore win.
Yeah, but you say that, but like I don't know. I mean, I still think Jess Jonathan, if she had to face that Megan should over right now, she'll take it any day. I'm sure she's faced her the next 100 times.
Let's see what the bowling plan can be like. So one Megan shoot. Do you think Renuka will be bowling both the overs?
No, I hope not. I want Sri Lanka Patil to bowl one.
I think Elise Perry will bowl one.
No, I don't think so.
I think
True.
just because she's Elise Perry, she will
True.
be giving one over.
Yeah, maybe. I just want Sri Lanka Patil to bowl one.
Megan one, Renuka at least one.
Would you give
Elise Perry
Asha another over because she did
She's
good.
done.
You
Oh, she's
can't
done?
change the rules. You're not Mumbai. You can't change the rules.
You're not Mumbai.
Yeah, it's true. Yesterday, by the way, Mumbai were buying people out. They bought DRS out yesterday fully.
How? That was clear not out. Don't vote. Oh, you guys feel otherwise?
That's not.
No, it was not out. But I
No,
mean, it's not that there haven't been wrong decisions in the game. It's just that you have to follow what the protocol is. And rather than blaming the players, I'd actually blame the umpires for getting.
I'm not blaming the
bullied.
players or the umpires. I'm blaming the owners for buying it out first and foremost. That's the thing.
But yeah, the problem है भाई. सब मुंबई फिक्स कराता है, बीसीसीआई फिक्स कराता है, फिर भी इंडिया कुछ नहीं जीत रहा.
But that's true.
मुंबई
The
2 ओवर
financial arm of
से
India.
क्वालिफाई भी नहीं कर रहा. इस बार भी कोई चांस नहीं है.
Oh God. We all have to just throw daggers whenever we can. Grandmaster Gogo say, answer the question, please. Can we expect Jadu and Ashwin in playing 11 together at WTC finals? They have not played together the last time India visited England in the 2021 series.
They
Did
can.
Ashwin
They played the WTC final. They did not play the England series.
The better question is whether Akshar will also join them. It's just a
No,
pure
no.
back.
There's no chance. No chance of Akshar
So,
playing in
last
the 11.
is the only test where Ashwin, Jadeja, Siraj, Bumrah and Shami have played together.
No. You've got it wrong. It was not Siraj. It was Ishant.
Oh, it was Ishant. Yeah. I wanted Siraj
that's
to play, that's why I remember Siraj. I wanted Siraj
that's
to play the WTC final, but
But why can't they just go in with that? Isn't that the inevitable, like you just said? Or do you think there'll be more which meets the
No,
eye?
I think if they were to play this, so Jadeja's a lock.
Yeah.
But if they feel that the pitch is going to assist spin, because they massively underbowled Jadeja in that 4 test matches that followed the WTC final in England, and on the basis of that there was too much criticism of Jadeja's bowling, but his role was to just come up and bowl whenever pacers were tired and not give runs.
No,
which
he,
he didn't.
but he did well in the
Even if it's a
test.
green
Yeah.
top, Ashwin should start, lads. Come on, it's Ashwin.
No,
He's
so
11,
that's
9
what I'm
and
coming to. That's what I'm coming to. Given its oval and how the pitches have tended to be flat and how Edgbaston was flat as well, I do think playing Ashwin over, I think Ashwin can play ahead of, India playing 3 pacers who are Umesh, Shardul and Siraj, because these 3 pacers are just too extreme.
Sharp.
I mean,
So we Umesh Shardul and Siraj, क्या बोल रहा है
No,
भाई? ऐसा मत कर यार.
no, you've got to listen to me. What I'm saying. If you look back,
I
at
usually don't disagree with you, but this is the most I disagree with you for since I've known
No,
you.
so I think you've not probably understood what I'm saying. I'm saying that if India are going to play at the Oval and it is a flat pitch, I don't think India have 4 pacers who can probably bowl containing lines or contain the opposition if it's a flat pitch. If there was Bumrah, then I would have said that okay, you have 2 pacers in Shami and Bumrah who are a lock. Your third pacer is Siraj, and then maybe for the fourth pacer you can pick between Shardul and Unadkat. Okay, but now you don't have Bumrah. There's only one reliable pacer, and we saw that when pitches have been flat, like how it was in Edgbaston, Siraj went for a lot of runs. He was inconsistent. Shardul went for a lot of runs, and when the pitch is flat, even Shardul can be really, really hittable. And Umesh, as always, has been inconsistent overseas. So I think if you are going to play all three of them, you might as well play Ashwin instead of one of those pacers. That is what I feel. And I felt that even when India were playing in Oval last time around, because there was a phase where all three of them, Siraj, Umesh, and Shardul went for runs after the first morning on day two. After Umesh had dismissed Malan and who was the other batter? It was who was the night watchman? I can't remember. But there was a phase
Mm.
where all three of them leaked runs, and they leaked runs rapidly. So if I were to play a bowling attack, and I'm saying if it's a typical oval wicket, I'm not talking about a green oval pitch with overcast conditions. I'm saying if it's a if it's not a wet summer, if it's dry, if it is a typical oval wicket, the bowling attack that I'd probably go with is Shami, Siraj, Unadkat, Ashwin, and Jadeja. That's the
Oh,
bowling
this is your
attack I'd
final.
go.
I thought you were saying Ashwin, Jadeja, Shardul, Umesh, and Siraj. And I was like,
नहीं
what's
वही तो
going
मैंने
on?
बोला कि you've probably not understood what I'm
अब
saying.
ठीक है, अब ठीक है. This is the exact five that I'm looking at.
हाँ,
Yeah,
so
when you
that's what I
mentioned the word Shardul, everybody
But
lost me.
I have a feeling they won't play Unadkat for some reason. They should, but they won't. Okay, let's just
Go back to the game.
yeah, because
Because that game's June 7th. That can wait a while.
business end.
Business at 29
But-
and 25.
but we have to take the questions from the audience. We can't help it.
They're showing Ben Sawyer on the big screen over there. They should really just show the fans who've come to the stadium. 122 for 400 remains that
Yeah.
way.
This
Priyanka
is
Patil,
good.
Now what's going to
This is-
happen, guys?
This is good from Jonathan. Not risking an unnecessary single and putting the team in jeopardy.
That's experience coming before.
It's 29 of 25. You don't need to risk your wicket for a single.
That is true. And they're not even playing for net run here because they already have the points in the bag.
Yeah, I think Megan should bowl this over because if they get one more wicket,
Or would you take one more over of spin? Just the gamble.
but who they have?
Preeti
Preeti goes. But Johnson, maybe she's a lefty, not an ideal matchup at the moment. One of
She's
any
power.
three
Yes,
or
she
maybe.
has some power.
They are power. But I don't know. I think if Bangalore are kind of going to get a result, then they just need 2-3 wickets to fall. Otherwise, Delhi is going to finish it off in maybe in 2 overs, let alone the 4 that they have remaining in this game. By the way, let us know which game as well has caught your eye beyond belief this tournament, because I've tried to think of it at the top of my head, and not one game has really caught fire in this
No.
year's edition. The Grace Harris one probably
Yeah.
comes to mind.
It was a
Okay,
great game.
regarding Grace Harris, I have a question to ask everyone. Maybe we'll just park it for when UP are playing. But
What is it?
let's just stick to the game. Let's not.
No,
jump
but now
behind.
everyone, I'm sure everyone in the comments are curious and be like,
No, I don't
bowl
think
though,
so.
why bowl though? The question that's so bad for UP. Let's say Subas for OP.
Oh,
Good ball.
that was a good ball.
Okay, so good call, Som. Shoots into the attack, 2 balls and 2 dots. And your biggest fan has popped in, Jayakumar Munmaya. I remember him.
Kane Mama's dive has been
Eclipsed.
already
Well documented on Twitter. And
overshadowed by Marizan Cap today.
that is true. That is true.
That was the best dive in recent years for 11
I
hours.
haven't seen a bigger dive and better dive than that. I mean, how the hell did she make it back home from there? But she did. Shoots into her 3rd ball and another dot. Yes, mid-off is up. So this is good bowling. And this is pressure now. 29 from 21 now, Gurkirat.
And now you need a wicket.
And now you
Just
need
the
a wicket.
perfect time.
I have a question for Nikhil, because I believe he's the most experienced viewer of the 4 of us over here. Does shoot always come so far away of the wicket, or sometimes she also delivers it from close to the stumps?
Yeah, I think she varies it
She's
up.
coming
See-
too wide. I think she's coming too wide of the stumps.
Yeah, maybe it's a plan to not.
Oh,
give her-
lovely, Megan. Brilliant, yaar. 4 dot balls, maza aa gaya. Come
Yeah.
on. Same way.
It's okay even if they play out a maiden over here.
No, but the thing is, even if they play out the maiden over, there is more pressure on Delhi than to at least break the game.
Yeah,
Because had that been somebody else, you could have still afforded a one boundary and said that okay, we'll
yeah.
definitely get it. So that risk factor will there. We just need one wicket here.
Okay, fine. Wicket, what do you guys think? Or do you think a big release shot for a boundary?
Shot.
And it's a poor ball.
Wait, she's got 4.
Oh, cut for.
That was ferociously
Oh, boy.
cut, and that was a boundary that Delhi needed. So 25 of 20 now, sorry, 19, beg your pardon. And Megan, should you feel for her because that one was almost a gimme ball. It was a slow one, back of the hand. Mazan
I
Cap
think
just waited.
Yorker is on the cards. now.
Yorkers on the
Yeah.
cards now. Who's bowling the next over, lads?
So
Renuka?
maybe will we see a ram shot?
No. I don't think she'll do anything stupid. She'll just probably play on the merit of the ball.
Okay, merit of the ball it is. So 24 from 18. So essentially 8 per over required. And now it'll be interesting to see who Mandana throws the ball to
I think
because she has
this over has to
Renuka.
be Renuka.
But I might be wrong. She might throw it to Shriyanka here. She might. Because Shriyanka has a good Yorker, like Mohit said, and I've seen. I mean, who else is there? The last 3 overs, Knicks, who would you bowl?
Sarkash
Kamal wala nahi.
Yeah, I think as of now, it's only 2 options. You either go with Perry or you go with Renuka. I'd hope they'd go to Shriyanka. It would be a good test for her as well, because the rate is not much. If you can do something from here, it bodes well for her going forward.
I agree.
But yeah, most likely to be Perry. I think. Let's see.
Okay. Perry normally doesn't bowl
But
her
I
4
mean,
overs for
Nikhil,
Australia.
don't you think if this over is bowled by Perry, they will be in a precarious situation because then Perry would be bowled out. 2 overs left, one would be Renuka and one would be
Renuka.
Shriyanka. So maybe
Yeah, but
this
then
over.
I think they don't have any option, right? They have to. Which is why they brought back Megan Shoot because they couldn't bowl really Perry just after that.
It is
So, yeah.
Perry.
Yeah.
It is Perry.
So like they're looking for wickets first, which is again
Top
fair
ball.
and not thinking too far ahead.
Top ball.
Like if you hold Perry back and the game is done, there is no use of Perry. So might as well use her now and then just see what's left for
But
the
is Renuka not a better option at this point of time?
She hasn't had the good time. I mean,
Yeah.
executing whatever she's planned. So had that been the case, then Bangalore would have won more games than they have. I mean, then they would have won at least one game.
I think by this time of the men's game, you'd already see ads of the next game.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh,
Good ball from Perry. 2 dots. 2 dots. That's what Bangalore want. So far, in the last, 9 balls, they just got 5 runs. So, really good time for RCB to pluck things back here. Bangalore, that is. Also, I'm just thinking, Heather Knight hasn't had a bowl tonight, has she?
no, not yet.
Surprise.
Best bowler for Bangalore, not
Yeah.
getting a bowl.
Won't be surprised if she bowls somewhere in the next 2 overs if it goes that long.
Last
Yeah.
over like Sachin.
I think
Yeah.
Kap's going to take a chance over here.
She's going to take a chance. Gurkirat's spoken. Come on, Perry. Knock her poles over. Knock her poles over. She swings. She swings for 6. And that will do Delhi a world of good. Gurkirat's smile tells it all.
Gurkeet could have made an excellent wicketkeeper.
And-
try करना चाहिए था.
And a suit.
क्या? Sorry?
You could have made a good wicketkeeper. पीछे से खड़े होकर ऐसा है कि भाई ऐसा लग रहा है ये मारेगी अभी.
Yeah, I mean,
And there were all signs, because Perry is going to bowl good length and into you. So all you need is one at the right line for you to take the risk. And it was always about the one boundary shot. So it came.
I mean, it's ridiculous. To the moon and back for Smriti. Whatever that placard means. For
Like-
the Bangalore cap.
This is a banana draw.
Okay, come on. You can still finish the over on an absolute high. Perry to Carp. She'll get the single on the offside. So 17 of 14. Still not a given for Delhi. But look, we've seen things happen before.
it's a matter of one boundary.
Who's going to
one
be bowling for Bangalore from the other end? Heather Knight, Shriyanka Patil, Renuka. I don't know. The guess is as good as yours. It's mine. So let
It
us
could be
know.
Renuka and Shriyanka if it goes down to the last over.
No option. That's why Renuka and Patil.
Yeah.
Renuka and inshallah. As good
Not
as
really. I
yours.
mean,
Yeah, but this is what I want to know from.
best death bowler. So
Who? Sri Lanka?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm quoting Mohit. And yeah, and Mohit's quoted
And
someone. Just to change the action now. I'm
I
guessing.
mean, do really don't have anyone else who can bat at number 7 instead of Tanya Bhatia.
That is true.
It's a Delhi
Sure.
thing. You don't expect logic from there.
I
So
don't
forget it.
want it to go there. That is something that I do. Delhi never has batters at 7.
It's a Papa
Why?
Ponting thing. It stays.
Lalit Yadav, why? He gave you a game against Mumbai. Lalit
Yeah,
Yadav, Akshar Patel.
Lalit Yadav and Tanya Bhatia are the same.
At least one doesn't have a nickname in Mirzapur. Anyway, Nanlal Sepat saying, go on, go on. What does Bose do?
make speakers.
Fight for freedom.
I was going to say this. I swear. Oh,
What does Bose do? She bowls left arm spin. I mean,
Yeah, the one keeper who had to hit the stumps did not hit it today. But yeah,
there was a little bit of an optical illusion, that comment. I mean, first I read it, I was like, no, don't get tempted to say that. Don't get tempted to say that. But yeah, good on Bose. Oh, decision pending for a
Maybe
run-out.
maybe one of the days when we'll have a dull game, I want Gurkira to talk about Bose's not she not using her right arm,
right.
because I watched her action and I felt कि भाई right arm usage थोड़ा better हो सकता है.
Wait, I didn't get what?
Obviously, I'm not qualified enough to talk about that.
I got it. Oh,
No,
God.
honestly, I mean, it's like he just comes and there's no movement of the right arm and just सीधा उठा के take the.
See, then Bangalore reviewed this because
I think umpire reviewed it.
umpire reviewed it.
These days, leg umpire का सब review करना होता है. तभी तो that is the loophole that Alex Carey has identified.
Waste of time, honestly.
The leg umpire is not watching anything. Let me just stump every time.
That's crazy. That's honestly crazy. I'm just thinking to myself, hopefully the IPL games this time around won't end at like 11:45, 12.
no, they'll definitely go till
They'll go.
11:30.
Yeah.
Because now that you have
Easily.
reviews for wides and no balls, now that you
Don't
have
come on the field and be like,
इस बार कौन सी टीम में कैप्टन फील्ड पे आएगा? चलो पहले से बात कर डिसाइड करके रखते हैं. We'll have one prediction.
Dhoni again.
Which team captain will come?
Dhoni again. Dhoni was too good, bro, when he came on the field that day.
I think
Insane. Did you tweet about that, Gurkirat?
what?
That Dhoni coming on the field for the Rajasthan game?
Yeah,
Were you on
and then I
Twitter?
got abused as well from CSK fans. There is no fan base. There is no fan base. There is no fan base that hasn't abused me on Twitter.
Why? They just want to be clean. But that's what even happened in the afternoon today.
But they shouldn't.
It's not a review, you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not a.
There is
So basically,
there
if you got an edge over there, Camp would be like, what? They checked for an hour.
Okay.
Now-
Okay. Here's something that I'm saying. There is going to be some player in the men's IPL who's going to review for a wide and not realize that he's actually hit it. I have two names on the top of my head who I think are perfect candidates to do that.
Don't
But
you
I'll-
dare say Virat Kohli.
I'll get to it later. No, it was you see. He's Virat is emotional, but he's not this stupid. He's emotional, but he's not this stupid.
Okay, cheeky reverse sweep there from Jonathan. So 15 of 10, good stuff from Sri Lanka. This is actually turning out to be a nail biter. Or it could not be if she goes for runs here. But what do you reckon? What do you reckon? That means Renuka is bowling the last one or Heather Knight. By the way, FYI.
I think Hessen now has more grey hair in these 5 games than what he had in the last 3 years in the men's
I
T20.
felt the same for Ashwin. I mean, I think this modern Olympics trophy just made him grow more
By
white
that
hair.
logic, I mean, Hessen should have taken a page out of Eddie Sperry's holy book celebration.
and then cut the beard off. Take
Literally.
it off.
But Ashwin had to bowl a lot in this test match, and I thought he got robbed off of a man of the match award.
Sri Lanka Patel, this is the problem. I mean, it's a good ball,
Oh.
thankfully.
But
Just
yeah,
two or just one.
Oh, what a throw. Yeah.
Wait.
Or is that a 35-meter ball?
Bangalore will take that without a shadow of a doubt. 137 for 4. So that means
I-
13 of 9. Come on, you girls.
I want
Come on,
Avnish's Avnish's opinion on the man of the match award of the test match. Do you think it
Oh,
was the right call?
who do they give it to eventually?
Kohli.
They gave it to
Kohli,
Virat.
right? Yeah, deserved. I mean, top score, dude. What do you more? What do you mean?
Bad ball, bad ball.
There
Why
were-
would you do
ball,
that?
shocking.
There
ball.
were nearly
But, like,
5 centuries
that's
in
the
that.
whole left hand, right hand thing, right?
ऐसा नहीं होता भाई, ये कहीं भी डाल दो लेफ्ट. You have to keep it outside of stump. मतलब
I know,
off
but
stump पे रखना है तुमको. ये तो क्या है भाई?
poor thing, she's learning a trade. Priyanka
First of all,
Patil.
why is she bowling over the wicket to a left-hander?
Because what do you mean? It's her stadium.
Speed भी करोगे.
It's my stadium. I'll bowl whatever I want. But look, that boundary is again brought back in terms of Delhi. 10 of 8 now. Come on, Sri Lanka. You got to get some sort of luck or create luck, like Nix has been saying. What does she have to offer? Johnson.
How
What
about
is
a
the-
super over?
The mark of Ashwin's, consistency in this series, that without winning a single man of the match award, he was the clear man of the series.
No, I think so. I felt that he should have been the man of the match, and I had a very left field choice for man of the series. My
Usman
my,
Khawaja.
my yeah, my choice for the man of the series was Usman Khwaja.
But
Not
how
Akshar
often is
Patel.
the man of the series been given to a team which loses?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
Super over time. Just calling it if it
Put
happens.
overtime. It's
yeah.
a
So
9 of 6 who's bowling it. Perry's running the ball. Perry has one more over.
No,
no,
Okay.
she's bowled out.
Okay,
She's
so
bowled out.
Come on,
So-
9 of 6. Are we going to see a super over? No, right? Yes. First time ever.
Why
अगर
not?
सुपर में हारे तो क्या करेगा? तो कितना रोएगा?
I'll at least be happy that it'll be in the record books or something infamous again.
He'll be like
First
he'll be like
ever
उस रात अपन
super
he'll be like
over
उस
and
रात अपन 2 बजे तक किया.
छोटी-छोटी खुशियां हैं.
What else to do? What else to do? Can I hope for them to finish in the top 2? No. Can I hope for them to finish in the top 3? No. Can I hope for them to finish in the top 4? No.
Top 4 तो वैसे भी कोई
Top
फायदा
5 will finish. Top 5 to hoga.
नहीं. Top 5 finish too. It's way better than
Yeah, I mean, I'll take
the
that.
men's team now and again.
Hey, no, I mean, the men's have been finishing playoffs in the last 3 or 4 years.
And the only team to do so.
What do you do? So consistency matters.
This season I don't think they're making the playoffs.
ठीक है बहुत हो गया ठीक है हाँ.
No, I
Okay, one second. All the
Renuka.
attention right now on this final over by Renuka because she started off decently well, 8 of 5. Mike Hesson in his grey hair.
yeah, this ball I think
Limelight.
this ball will determine where this match goes. It's probably a boundary or a wicket on this ball.
Okay. Next, what's your prediction? Do you echo those thoughts?
Copy paste the line that I do.
Okay.
क्या
Wicket,
line है?
wicket or boundary?
My answer is same, no difference.
This game is going to dictate the match. is what
This
it-
ball.
This ball.
हाँ ठीक है, दो
Yeah,
prediction आ गए हैं, बहुत है.
Okay. Tanya Bhatia is waiting in the wings.
The-
All you
the-
people
the
watching
problem is-
right now,
the
if
problem
you
is
think
Renuka has
Delhi
not
will
been-
win, if you think Delhi is going to win.
The problem is Renuka has not been able to land her Yorkers, and I suspect that she's going to go for one again. If she doesn't land it, this is going.
Okay.
Yeah,
The only
and they
thing
have a very
you have to do is
straight
keep
field.
it in the line of stumps.
Yeah.
Come on,
They
just
have a very
get
straight
it.
face.
Because even if it's an overpitch ball.
Good ball.
Yeah,
Good
she
ball.
landed it.
Come on, back your Indians against them internationals.
There is a
7-4.
lap shop
Come
coming.
अलग
There's
agenda
a lap
चल रहा है.
shop coming.
Lap
Let's
shop
hope the
comes.
lap.
Ooh,
Yeah, Jonathan can do that.
interesting. See, these are
Let's
the
see if
bold
she does.
predictions you'd like to see.
So this is why I want her to keep it within the
Yeah,
stumps.
in the
because
stumps.
stump
Yeah.
वो भी difficult होगा ना थोड़ा.
Yeah. Yes.
What's your gut
Do you
feel?
think
Still Delhi?
she should come around the wicket?
One sec.
for
All
this-
you
Yeah,
guys
the-
still Delhi? All
The
you
first
guys?
ball was around the wicket too, Jonathan.
Delhi?
Yeah.
Bangalore.
No, it was over.
Delhi बोला अभी बैंगलोर बोलूंगा तो थोड़ा
Ah, so just all,
prediction
of us-
engines type लगेगा.
all you guys are going for Delhi. Come on,
हवा की
Bangalore.
तरफ
Come
जा
on,
रहे
Renuka.
Shot.
Oh, catch it!
Catch
Catch it! Oh, no! It's 6! It's 6, and again, it's a dagger to all the Bangalore fans watching this.
Poor
I
ball
just
though,
want
yeah.
to cry.
Poor
I'm
ball.
going
This
home.
length.
Wrap up
Yeah,
show.
the length had to be fuller.
Yeah.
Because
poor
she
Couldn't I
ball.
was-
just wrap up the show like
she-
how
she
you
had
do
the-
with
she had the
Kolkata?
right thinking over here.
All that, I'm leaving.
She had
Mic
the
drop,
right
right?
thinking. She had the right thinking because she was bowling towards, she knew that the leg side boundary was the longer boundary. So she was, for that reason, she came around the wicket, but the length had to be fuller. She just
Yeah.
missed her length.
Yeah.
but she had the right thinking. It
If
like
this was against Mumbai or Chennai, by the way, that would have been caught to the boundary.
short
And Jess
finish.
Donaldson, fist to the pump. Fist to the pump.
भाई जेस दोनों का सही है भाई, with the bat, with the ball, proper finisher.
अरे
मतलब
मारो मुझे भाई, ये क्या बेइज्जती है? Honestly, I mean it's a joke, dude.
I'll
5
just I'll just say one line. अभी और जलील होना बाकी है.
but you came this close.
and no cigar. Honestly, I think I need a cigar right now to like pump all my stress out. Guys, thanks so much for doing this. To see my misery, not once, but twice, but thrice, but 4 times, and now 5 times as well. Really appreciate it. Final word with you guys because look, again, Bangalore showing why they're the worst team to ever create a franchise in T20 competitions in this country. And the women's are no different.
No,
Honestly.
but
ये game ठीक था भाई. I mean,
I
Yeah,
think
I
they
mean,
lost
this
this game.
game
I
really
think they
proved.
lost this game with the bat. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't be 68 for 3 of your 14 overs.
You can't.
In
That's
two, two,
criminally wrong, right? So do you think they lost the game with the bat in hand?
yes,
In the
because
first in the first power play, dare I say, because they're 29 for one, Gurkira.
yeah. So like we discussed in the last game, I don't think that Bangalore, in the first power play have ever gotten ahead in the game. They've just been
Yeah.
behind. And today also, when you are 68 for 3 after 14 overs, it was a massive effort to get to 150. But 150 was never going to be enough. And I thought they did well with the ball to somehow stretch Delhi into the last over, because I felt they were at least 20 runs short, if not more. But yeah, I mean, it would be harsh and cruel to blame the bowlers today. And again, like you've been saying, they were also slightly unlucky while bowling. I mean, that run out, you 99 times out of 100, uh, the batter doesn't make her ground over there, and she did. Carp did, and then yeah, I mean, some edges not landing, and just the small margins. Had Jonathan not connected the previous ball, then probably also Bangalore could have won this game. So a lot of fine margins not going Bangalore's way with the ball. But really, I thought, they just did not set the tone right with the bat. I mean, the way Smriti batted. Again, all focus is going to come on her batting, but it is what it is. Just did not set the right tone with the bat to begin with.
It is what it is. In Bangalore, find themselves at the bottom, of course. No prize for guessing. Knicks, they made 4 changes heading into today's game. Will they or should they make more changes, or do you think they can get some solace out of this close fought defeat?
They have to use the players better. I think we've discussed this at length in most watch-alongs. They keep relying on the tried and tested people who have not worked out. So you have to take them out of that position, try out your youngsters, at least give them something to build on for the next season. So again, now probably is the right time. Poor Smithy looks pretty lost. Again, you need to have that, something to change it up, because again, you're relying on Sophie, Perry, and everybody to do the job. You take Preeti Bose, don't bowl her. It's just the same story every game, not using the Indian contingent well at all. Shika Pandey took 3 today. How are you using your Asha bowled so well today? So you need to find a way to get them into the game and then support them with a better overseas players who give them tougher roles. I think RCB have given them the easier roles and they're asking the youngsters to do the tougher roles, which is not always going to work out well.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think this is a
this
point
should
you
actually
mentioned
be
as well
this
in the
should
past.
actually be the basics. I mean, this should ideally be the basics in terms of strategy. I mean, we see so often in the men's IPL as well, that when you have overseas batters, you you send them to bat in the top three, and then you send the inexperienced ones to try and come and finish the innings, which is obviously a much more harder role to crack for any inexperienced batter than an experienced batter. I just want to ask this to Nikhil. Nikhil, is this the first time Perry and Shoot are experiencing 5 straight losses in any professional cricket?
I think so. Even in WBBL, it never would have gone to like 5 games in a row. So yeah, just things RCB can make you do.
Thanks for that, Nick. I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear it. Soam's looking like Mike Hessen right now, just trying to figure out his plans after the watch along, trying to go back to the drawing board. What's on your mind?
I'm just thinking. I was just thinking if I were in Smriti Mandana's shoes, what will I be telling myself to come out of this slump? Maybe,
Forget come out of the slump to sleep well at night.
yeah, I mean, it's one and the same thing. She'll sleep well in the night only when she's come out of the slump.
Yeah.
Maybe just tell yourself that, you know, 5-0 is as bad as it can get.
Yeah.
यहाँ से 8-0 भी होता है तो won't make a big difference. So I mean, maybe just be a little more carefree in the 3 games to come, because the point is, because she's so good against pace, you can't even change the batting order. She has to open. One more thing that Bangalore have struggled with is not having any left-hander in the top 6. Again, this is basics.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you cannot construct a squad like that. I know there is a paucity of good left-handed batters in women's cricket, but then maybe just for her sake they can push someone else to open. But I don't know if that is the ideal way to go. Maybe someone else can lead the side, but that sets a very wrong example. So maybe she has to figure out a way to free herself up. Maybe a good time to call the someone from the men's team and have a chat that how shall I come out of this and what should be the way forward.
I mean, that wouldn't really be required because what will
Because they
even
don't
say?
even. I mean,
What will they say? I mean, they'll just be like, "Look at us, just play ball."
there has to be someone, right? I mean, I don't know. Will Herman contribute right at this moment? If she calls her, maybe she will.
Maybe. I mean, let's see how that really unfolds because we're already talking about Bangalore looking forward to the next season when the season's already been halfway through, which is just honestly a tale that we always kind of talk about Bangalore when we talk about cricketing tournaments in this country. That enough of me and the boys right now because I really just I was going to say I can use a drink, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to use a coconut water or coffee, whatever, to drown my sorrows because yep, Bangalore have lost again and Delhi have won again. And that's all we have in this watch along. Thanks so much for watching and joining us and contributing with all your thoughts and lovely comments. There'll be more watch along fun tomorrow, of course, with pretty much a similar crew, but we might have a couple of tweaks here and there. But nevertheless, we'll be there and subscribe. Like I said, it's only starting this little summer of cricket because in the next 17 days, it's going to be that Chennai Gujarat first game, and we're going to be doing watch alongs for that as well. My name is Avnish Hegde. So goodbye and good night from yet another sad watch along from a Bangalore perspective.
Take